Okay, folks, welcome back to Allergic to Stupidity. Perseverance pays off. This is attempt number 3. This time I remember to press all the right buttons. Welcome back to Allergic to Stupidity. My name is Bev, and this is my YouTube channel where I just get to yell and scream and vent and point out things that I've found that maybe will help other people understand things. Before I go any farther, I just ran into a video of Mark Carney giving up the whole spiel about he's just signed the okay for this wonderful money-making program where people all across Canada can make tens of thousands of dollars and they can live happily ever after. That is AI. It is fake to the nth degree. I have seen it with the NDP leader's name face to it. It's not just a name. It's literally that you see that person talking. It's AI. 100%. It's just 100% scam. Do not listen to it. And it's one of those big hassles that a lot of people are having. And so with Mark Carney just being elected as the Prime Minister of Canada, somebody's grabbed hold of it and has made this ad. I did not follow it. I did not want to. I just deleted it. But it was put across as a news report. It's not. None of that is legit. It's 100% fake. So please ignore it. So now, having said that, we have a lot of crises going on. And we have a security crisis. We have an existential crisis with Trump there and Putin on the other side. We have tariff crises, et cetera, et cetera. One of the big ones that hits home to a lot of us is a housing crisis. And for me, it hits home because I've got 4 kids and one of them lucked into being able to buy a house. That's it. The other 3 are either, one of them lives at home, pays me rent, but lives at home. Another one lives with a friend, and another one and her husband rent one half of this guy's Victorian townhouse. So none of them can look forward right now in 2025 of ever being able to own their own home. We know that that's a reality. And even my son-in-law has stopped blaming us boomers. He says, this is just the economy, Mom. I'm like, yeah. So what did I get in my mail the other day, which just about burnt me, is this little flyer. It's from Green Park Groups, and they present the Taywood Estates in Burlington. They're 50 feet wide estate lots. Now, when I think of an estate, I think something with lots of grass, et cetera, et cetera. With me looking at the grass saying that should go in fields. But that's a personal thing. I want you to read. Hopefully it will function. It did right there. Starting at low $1.9 million. Well, I'm glad, like I showed this to my kids. She says, okay, I'll buy 2 of those. Very sarcastic, very tongue-in-cheek, because let's be realistic. Now, it also says 50-foot estate lots. So let's put things in perspective. My house, which really isn't that big, I call it a cute country cottage, is roughly 35 to 40 feet wide. That's it. Okay? It's not in this massive house. That means if my house is 40 feet wide, they've added 5 feet on one side and 5 feet on the other side for the lot. The lot's 50 feet. The house takes up 40. That's 5 feet on this side for grass and 5 feet on that side for grass before you're hitting the next lot. Well, the 5 feet between my house and that property line and the 5 feet between the property line and the next person's house is 10 feet. That is the minimum distance in the city of Burlington that you can build housing, unless you're going with townhouses. But to have it as a freestanding, there has to be 10 feet between the side of your house and the next building. So that building, these cute little estatey things, literally will fill up the whole property. I'm not sure where that's an estate thing. So then I got thinking, okay, if that's the case, let's compare apples to apples. Can somebody, like, Nobody in my house can afford this. Can people actually afford to buy these houses in the city of Burlington? So, did a little research. The average income in the city of Burlington is $140,000. I'll take that $140,000. Thank you very much. I know I don't make that. Never seen that kind of amount. But we'll go with $140,000. Okay. So the next thing I did was let's look and see, and that's 140,000 gross, by the way, just to keep things in perspective here. Okay. So what did I do? There we go. I punched up condominiums mortgage page. Okay. So let's just follow through. It's just a mortgage payment calculator. And I put in 1.9 million because they say starting at the low 1.9. So I'm just going to do the 1.9. I did not change the 5-year, the closed. I didn't change any of that. I put it down to monthly. Okay. And let me calculate. That's the monthly payment. $10,558.28 per month. Understand that that does not include your city taxes. I know what my city taxes are, and I know that my city taxes are really low compared to most people in my area. Okay, that's without a hesitation because my house has no extra bells and whistles. It was built in the 50s. The greatest addition is rugs and an air conditioner, which the air conditioner doesn't work anymore. So then I got out my little not fancy, but my little calculator, and I went, okay, let's take $10,558.28, and I'm going to multiply it by 12 because there's 12 months in the year. Okay, I'm going to put this up to the camera. I'm not sure if it's going to thing it, but there you go. There you can see the grand total. I took that 10,000, multiplied it by 12. So I now have $126,699.36 for mortgage payments in a calendar year. Now, I'm going to subtract the gross income of that household, which was $144,000. Make sure I get right number of zeros. And there you go. $13,300.64. Okay. I know it says, I know there's a negative, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Trust me, from my math teacher, it doesn't matter. It tells me the difference between the two. So from that $13,300, I have to pay out all the income tax that's going to come out of my paycheck before I even get it, because that $140,000 is gross. Then I have to pay for heating. Then I have to pay for lights, like hydro. Then I have to pay my property taxes, because that does not include your property taxes. That's just the mortgage on this damn house. That does not include food. That does not include clothes on your back. That does not include the car insurance, the house insurance. That does not include anything. So please, step one in the housing crisis, this stupidity has to stop. Yes, I know that Burlington, because I live in the Burlington Waterdown area, sort of that area, that we are a bedroom community. Even Waterdown's a bedroom community. Yes, it's got farming, so does the Burlington area. But it's mostly bedroom communities. People live out here and they drive into Toronto to go to work. Or their head office is in Toronto, but they work from home. Okay? Or they drive into Hamilton. So I realize we're bedroom communities, which is why our property taxes are higher. I know somebody in downtown Burlington, one of my clients that I go to, her property taxes are almost $16,000 a year. That would more than eat up that $13,000 that she's got left. So yes, do we need to build more houses? Damn right, we need more houses. But when we have developers who are charging this kind of absolute stupidity on housing. This is why no one can afford them. And they turn over real fast. People buy them, they live in them for a couple of years, and then either they're doing it to flip so they can make more money, which right now is a dumb move. Explain that in a second. Or they buy it thinking they can afford it, but they realize how far they literally have to stretch that penny to be able to pay just the regular cost of living. Like literally, this would be the biggest thing. I just saw my daughter off to back to Newfoundland. She's taking a friend of hers who lives down here, is moving out to Newfoundland because he had a condo, 2 bedrooms. He doesn't want it anymore. It's just him. He's never planning on getting married. And she came down, A, to see us for Easter, but also to help him pack to move out. And he's going nomadic. So sometimes he's going to live with his parents down here, and he's going to rent a bachelor pad or whatever out in St. John's, because he works online, so he can do this. He bought his condo, 2-bedroom, nice area town, in the city he lives in, is nice area, for $500,000. He's not going to get $500,000. The real estate officer said, just rent it. Literally, he said, you will lose too much on it. And it's condo. He never wanted property like this, like what I have. It's always wanted. He says, I don't want to do yard work. Well, that's fine. But there's our problem, one of our problems. So what are some ideas that you can send to your MPP or your MP about helping to bring down these costs? And I know I've heard the profit margin on these lovely houses are not as great as people like to think. So you're sitting at 1.9. They may only be making, I don't know, 500,000 or 50,000 or whatever. But here's an idea. Instead of building, I don't know how many houses there are in this one. It just doesn't say how many, but you know what? If you put those into higher density, so townhouses, or even just smaller houses, so people could afford them, that might help solve part of the housing problem. Because, yeah, we've got these lovely houses, but how many people can afford them? Not. Anyways, there's my ranty rant for today. Get rid of that. Get back to seeing my cute little old face. And that's one of them. It's like, we do have a housing problem. I don't argue that. But we need to come up with some other solutions and maybe start by restricting the profit margin on these guys. Now, I have understood in some other research that when they're doing big developments like condo buildings, they have to sell, they have to sign people up who are going to buy them to show the bank they have enough people interested in buying the condos, so the banks will loan them the millions and millions and millions of dollars they need to build it. So they get the people to sign up for maybe that townhouse or that condo or the whatever in 2021. But then the supply chain crashes, which it's going to be crashing. It's already crashing, but it's going to crash more. And then by the time they come to actually build it, they've already signed a contract with the people who want to buy the townhouse. But now the cost of material and all the rest of it has gone up to a point where the construction people are actually going to lose. So I do understand that this isn't as simplistic as it looks, and there's so many other things on it. But the idea of today's video was just to open the door and have people and myself understand how complicated this is. But at the same time, low 1.9s? You got to be kidding me. I'm driving up a highway to a student, and there is a tiny home on its frame sitting beside the highway I'm driving up for $160,000. We'll move it to your lot. It's a tiny home. It's not even permanent. There's a trailer park in the area. with, honest to God, single wide to double wides, like literally good old fashioned, what I always think of as a house trailer. They're going for 369, 340,000, which to me, that's a little more reasonable. It's a nice starting house, but they've got those those house trailers squeezed in to get as many people into the property as possible. But at least it's something. So allow me to put a tiny home in the back of my property so one of my kids could live there. I don't know. There you go. That's today's rant, rave, whatever. And first concern, cost of physically the house. Bless my soul that I got this house 25 years ago. Yeah, it's 25 years. Holy cow. Take care, guys. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday's business. And I think I misplaced it. It's a business out in British Columbia. Take care.